Bonjour, Kinamagi Nene, Ireland Indigenikas, and welcome to today's Social Studies Explorer. Today's lesson, the Chapter 7 review. There will be a question and answer session in class that even if you're at home, you're welcome to participate in using the chat feature. But amongst the things that we've covered in Chapter 7 would include, of the Michigan Open Book, include describing the powers of the national government and state government under the Articles of Confederation. Keep in mind that in that document, the federal government had a very weak central government, had to ask permission pretty much from the states for everything, whereas the state governments were quite powerful. Standard 3.2, under those Articles of Confederation, you had to get most states to agree, which meant that not a lot got passed. There wasn't a lot of money to accomplish things, and we failed to be able to respond even to protests. Why was the Constitutional Convention convened? Well, originally it was supposed to be a trade session to rework some trade law, and quickly they decided, you know what, we just need to write the whole thing again. And over the course of that next summer, they spent meeting in Philadelphia to come up with the Constitution we have now. Amongst the issues of representation and slavery, that's where we talked about the 3/5 compromise that mandated that enslaved persons only count as 3/5 towards representation. This minimized a little bit of the impact that the South would get as an advantage on voting, but also kind of saved them a little bit on taxes. And in the Great Compromise, where we decided that there would be a Senate with 2 representatives and a House of Representatives based on population. Why the framers wanted to limit the power of the government, keep in mind this is right after the Revolutionary War. They did not want to be back in a government with like King James had. They didn't want a king. So that kind of led them to support that weaker central government. The idea of federalism is that there are certain powers for the federal government and certain powers for the state government. And then individual rights, we did not have a Bill of Rights initially. It was promised that we would do one. And of course, obviously we did. There are a number of rights to the individuals. If you look at those first 10 amendments, you have your rights to everything from speedy trials to freedom of speech. It would be good to just kind of skim over the key points of Chapter 7. We'll be having an assessment in our next section. Hope you all have a mental gives you got. Meanwhile, I'm a pee.